Hello, this time we're checking a P code or P agent just because I like it. And it's a minimal terminal coding harness. At first I thought, okay, we got a harness that sucks even more than the other ones. You just have to add more things to make it okay. But taking away things is actually a good idea because the field is just full of features and good ideas and just full of gimmicks. So it's minimal. Basically, there is not much to say here. All they have is a platform and a way to put packages on it. And that is quite different from how others are doing it, because either they have the my way or the highway approach, or we have this kind of R style, and you can try to tweak it, adjust it, but you're just gonna stick with us and the way we like to do things. So, for example, open code would be its main competitor, and that is kind of set up to be more of an interactive, hands-on, buddy-like experience. And it's gonna check in with you every, I don't know, like 5 minutes, 3 minutes. It's like, how do you feel about this? What about my questions? MP code does not do such things, not by default. So let's see what we don't have. Apparently, this is their business prop. No MCP, no subagents, no perms, no plan mode, no built-in to-dos, and no background bash. We got nothing at all. So that's it. You're just gonna release something that sucks so bad, and then you make the audience just fix it up. That seems like the value prop here. But as I tried it, I come to realize that not having built-in to-dos straight up is such an advantage, because those built-in to-dos are a massive food gun. The agent will use them just because it can, and they encourage short-sightedness. Plan mode, I'm not strictly against, but the problem with the plan mode that you often need to go out there and possibly execute some actions to be able to do some kind of good plan. And if you can't do that, then you essentially have plan mode as a safety mode. So if you turn on the plan mode, then the AI is not gonna edit. It can't edit. But it doesn't mean that you can do the best plan while you can't edit at all. And in fact, you would want to edit if you are putting down the plan in some kind of docs. Of course, you can say later that after the plan mode, you're gonna put it down in docs, but but even that encourages kind of shorter planning, right? Because you're not like putting down the docs, putting down the docs. So that's not necessarily a good approach. And subagents also a thing I somewhat grew cold on, because I think how they were sold as that, oh yeah, you're gonna have this guy who's gonna have its own context, and then you can speed up. And I would say that speed would be the only selling point, because if you can just execute linearly, but even think about this in this case, that you wouldn't have to do parallel, right? So you can just go one step, second step, first step, and you could even spawn a guy for the fourth step. You can spawn a single guy for every single step individually. So you can say that that is subagents, but that is not how they are usually used. They are just used eagerly in a parallel way. So it adds speed, but it does not necessarily add quality. It actually doesn't add quality, and it's an extra concern for the agent to do. If you are just interested in making the best quality software, an agent might not be the right choice. And we are checking out the packages here, and I see this after trying out agents. They are not bad at all, but I'm not sure they are a plus. And that is kind of the criteria we have here. So the extensions that I'm using is this context mode MCP plugin that saves 98% of your context window. So this could allow the AI to be smarter, I guess, by not spamming with all the irrelevant detail. And the other one I would argue that you need is the WebXX. You might need something else. You might need a browser thing too if you are making websites. But this works really well and gives some crucial context to the agent. And the only other I have right now is a Ralph Wiggum loop. So basically, you make a to-do, and then you tell it to just keep doing the to-do. It's almost like just finish your to-do, man. But it is not quite as simple, because it also writes some tests. So it is a pretty effective way, not only to make sure that all the tasks get done, but they also get done properly. I would say that this is probably the highest value add. And you don't technically need this unless you're looking to do more of a hands-off development. But even then, it is a way more effective approach than you just prompting the agent like every few minutes, like, oh yeah, do this, do that, do this, do that. That's not gonna be as high of a quality. Briefly, I also installed this Fusion thing, and I'm merely bringing up this because of an example that AI tried to use this thing, and anything you add, AI will need to consider and use. So AI was not using my looper anymore and making to-dos. No. We were making tasks for this Kanban thing. And that was just straight up worse than just looping the to-dos. So this was a fail, but worse than a fail, it was a costly failure. And while we are at it, I'm also going to somewhat touch on goals. I'm not against them, but looping on explicit to-dos is much better than just go do this, right? And even if you like go do the to-do, it's like, okay, but it doesn't do as good of a job as the looper. But the goal would be best if you have something more open-ended, but also not edit-based. So goal, research this thing. But as I find it, it just does it anyway. You don't need to make it a goal. So I'm not sure the goal is worth it. And personally, I'm drawn to determinism and explicitness. And goal is like, hey, just do that. That might not get you a great experience. I think that's more of a Claude style, that you're relying on the agent very much to guide you. And my process is that I just make a long list of tasks, possibly with a smarter model, and then just execute them all after verifying, ideally. But this kind of just highlights that you don't need many things. Now, no doubt, some might argue that, skills can be useful. I mean, skills can be useful in the right context. Otherwise, the skill is a con. But what you need is keep the context light, be able to get critical information. I guess the web search would be the most general way of doing that. And then you need a very reliable way of execution. Now, others might value other things, and that's fine. But the point of this P-code thing, that it kind of serves as a platform you put like boxes on, rather than a frame that you're trying to bend to your will. So if you did this in open code, it would also kind of work, but it's kind of not set up that way. And you would need to at least consider just turning off things. Even then, I'm not entirely sure if you would get the same results. I tried it. The answer was no. I couldn't even tell what was wrong. And workflow-wise, I don't want to show much because I think it's almost pointless. But essentially all you're doing is that you're doing some research, then you make the to-dos, I guess, and then you, loop on them or reconcile against it, and then you figure out, so you do a Ralph loop here, and again, you do some research, again, loop again, do some research, and you basically just making a long to-dos, do it, long to-dos, do it. Of course, you're doing audits and reviews in between, making some tests, assuming the tests are a little slim. Of course, in this case, I'm using it as a agentic platform automator thing, but makes the cost of adding things crystal clear. And it's not just, as I said, whatever you pay for it in context, but what you pay in confusion. So if you add things that the agent has to pick between, then it might just pick either of those things. So what if I add goal and loop? And then the agent has to decide whether to use goal and loop. And it has to spend time on this every time of like, okay, what are we going to pick? And if I only have loop, then I guess we're going to loop every time. And truly no other considerations to be had. Because if we have the sub-agents, for example, then we might not loop, but we're going to do some kind of a sub-agent swarm, just going out there, doing their thing, doing their tasks, and like, okay, but is it going to be better? My experience says no. Actually, this is a great example, and this is what I was tweaking lately, is that I made, at this point, AI makes the stuff, but some kind of auto review thing. But the problem is that if AI can trigger this auto review, then it's kind of pointless, because all I wanted, essentially, is that we have something that triggers when the to-do is over, right? It's almost like a notification, in a way. But if you make it a command, or a skill, or, those would be the main two things, then AI might just use it and consider using it. Say like, oh, you should do a review here or whatever. And then it's going to use the skill or command of this review even though it's not appropriate there. So that's not great. Even this would really depend on what you're doing. So if you're using to-dos as some kind of research, then you might not want a review after that. But if you're using the to-dos every single time, just make tasks, and after that you want to review them, then yeah, it would make more sense. But again, this depends on the user and the use case truly. And you don't really have this option that much or at all, arguably, if you're using the big boys. So despite all the bells and whistles, all you really care about is to context efficiently address the problems in a systematic way. And personally, I think the package that I'm missing here is the PyChrome one. So I can use the browser session to, well, work on projects that actually use the browser. And if you're not making websites, this would be a bad idea for you. Editing stuff is super easy, you just install and you're good to go. So that is pretty much it. Less crap, more value.